This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Zinger Lite travel trailer. Model 270BH as in bunkhouse. And this is not a floor plan video, it's a how-to video, so I'm going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? First of all, we have powered stabilizers. So one switch controls both rear, like so. The other switch in the front controls both front. Alright, now if I come up here, let's see what we have here. We're still cleaning it, so it's dirty, but our guy will get on it right after I do this. Okay, so you have two cranks here. This one has a slot in it. If you can see, it's a cylinder with a slot. This one here, the smaller one, is for your power tongue jack. If your power tongue jack happens to fail, you can pull this plug out of the top, put the crank on there and crank it. Now these stabilizers also can be manually operated from the other side. So if they happen to fail for any reason, you can see you've got that shaft with a, shaft with a pin through it. You can actually crank it from there if you have an emergency for whatever reason they stop working. So you can always get yourself out of trouble. Okay, so this right here is the black tank flush. It's on this side of the trailer. So after you dump the black tank, which is toilet water and waste, of course, you leave the valve open. It's important to leave the valve open like it says on this sticker here. You leave the valve open, put the hose at the dump station on here, turn it on. It'll spray out your black tank, clean off the sensor so you get a good reading, that sort of thing. So if you've got a working hose at the dump station, it's a good thing to do. You have a power awning with LED strip, outside speakers. This is the range hood vent here. So there are two little latches, one on each side, that keeps the baffle in there from flapping freely. So if you're going to vent to the outside using the fan in the range hood, you want to free up that baffle so it flaps freely and vents to the outside. Otherwise, you can just, when you're traveling or in storage, you can keep it shut. All right, that's the service panel for your refrigerator. You don't really need to go in there. That's the furnace vent, of course. Here we have TV signal out plus power, and this is your fresh water tank fill. Now, the most common way to get water to the trailer, obviously, is the city water hookup, which is on the other side. If you happen to be camping someplace that does not have city water, whether you're boondocking or wherever you're at, if it doesn't have city water, you can pre-fill this tank here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. All the plumbing will work as though you have city water. You just be pumping it, okay? And this white gate valve down here, if you can see it, let me get a good picture of it here, right there, that's the dump valve for the fresh water tanks, okay? Now, let me just look here real quick to see what I can see before I give you any information. Okay, hopefully you can see that. That's a pin with a shaft through it, again. And there's a hole there to reach it. With that crank I showed you with the slot in it, you can actually crank the slide room manually. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of cranking, but in an emergency you can always get that thing in or out by cranking it there. So that's another good feature. Odds are you'll never have to use it, but in case you do, you have the feature. Excuse me. Alright, so you have a hitch that you purchase with the trailer. This is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up. Okay. It's a good hitch. So you have two LP tanks which are full. You have a deep cycle marine battery here, and this is the kill switch for your battery right there. So if you want to shut it off, you can just shut it off. Now this if you wanted to purchase a solar battery charger kit, which is like a foldable solar panel, it's made by Go Power. If you were to purchase something like that, it would plug in right there, and it's just a solar panel to charge your battery. That's all. I told you about the tongue jack. It's powered. It has a light up and down, obviously, and an emergency crank if you need it. Okay. It says here wired for solar, so that's just telling you that there's wiring in the walls already if you wanted to add a panel or something like that, a solar controller and a panel or whatever. Alright, so you have a 30-foot, 30-amp power cord. Okay, and we give you a reducer to reduce it down to 20. If you want to plug in at home, there it is right there actually. Okay, that's your dump hose there. Now, these are your valves, of course. Black valve, it's the toilet water waste, is always the larger valve. The gray is sink and shower water. Now I left this panel open for you right now just so you can see. Hopefully you can see in here, it's kind of dark. But that is the back of your water heater right there. And those are your bypass valves, if you can see them on there. So right now you're in camping mode, meaning the system's filled with water and your water tank is full, right? Now, before you winterize the trailer, obviously you're going to change those valves to the bypass position, and that's where you do it right there, just so you know, okay? I'll screw this panel back in place, but it takes 2 screws to remove it, and all the screws are actually 3. All the screws on this trailer are number 2 square-headed screws, so if you don't have a bit for your drill, number 2 square, get one of those. Excuse me. Cable and satellite through. This is just an outside shower. This is your city water connection. That's the most common way to get water to the trailer. This is your water heater. I just showed you the back of it. This is the front of it, of course. Right now it has water in it and it's in camping mode. This runs on both gas and electric. To drain it, this is where you drain it right here. This is the cap. That's an 1 1/16 6-point socket to get that off. Never run it without water in it, like I said. The switches to control it are inside by the water pump switch, and I'll show you where those are at when we get inside. Okay? Alrighty. And also, this is pre-wired for a backup camera. So if you wanted to get the Furrion camera that goes in that housing so you can see what's happening behind you, you can always add that on. You can get them almost anywhere. We have them. You can get them elsewhere. But that's where it would go. Also, while we're looking up, the manufacturer states every 60 days you should inspect your roof. So you want to go up there regularly, and you want to look for cracking or separation at the sealant. You want to look for damage to the roofing material or the roofing attachments by, let's say, low branches or road debris. You're just inspecting your trailer to stay ahead of any problems. It should be part of your regular maintenance. Odds are you'll go up there for years and you won't have to do anything, but that's why you're inspecting it, just to make sure, so you can stay ahead of things. Okay? Alright. So here we go inside. Your control panel, your lights here, and of course your awning light here. This is your awning switch here, awning out. Very simple. Never leave it out unattended, always roll it in when you're not going to be there. This is your slide room switch here. Your water pump is here. I told you you'd run the water pump when you're pumping water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You also use it to winterize the trailer. Light your water heater on gas is right here. To light it on or turn on the electric element, it's right here. Never run these without water in the tank. I can't emphasize that enough. That's one of the #1 mistakes people make. Your battery's charged. Fresh water's got some water in it, so we can show you if you want to see the pump work or whatever. Your black tank is empty, gray. Okay. Auxiliary you don't pay any attention to because that's not used on this particular trailer. Okay. This is a GFCI plug here. Keep in mind, all the plugs in the trailer, including the one on the outside, are wired through a GFCI. So if you're using the plug outside and it pops something, you reset it here. Okay. Let's get more light here. Your keys are hanging right here. Your TV mounts here. There's a backing plate here. You have a sound bar. Now the sound bar has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly. It has FM radio. It has a USB port, so you could stream off a little USB drive. Take all your albums with you, whatever. It also has 2 speaker zones, A and B. A is inside the trailer, B is outside the trailer, so it's got everything you need. Let's see where we're at here. This is the remote for your sound bar, right? I'll put it right here. And this is your packet with all your literature in it. So I'll put that there so you can see it. It's got information on all the components in the trailer. Okay. Microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood that we talked about with a fan in it. Turn the fan on right there, turn the light on there. If you're using the fan, open the baffle on the outside. Okay, so your range is very simple. You have 3 knobs here for the 3 burners. This is your sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark it, and that is your oven knob. So it goes like this. Very simple. The oven is a little different. It has a pilot light all the way on the bottom, all the way to the back. You can see it spark back there. Okay. Excuse me. Allergies. Excuse me. So to operate the oven, you're just going to go to the picture of the flame. You depress it and keep it depressed while you're doing this. Then you'll spark with the other hand till you see the pilot light down here light. After it lights, you still hold it in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature, of course. When you shut it off, the pilot light goes off, so you got to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? All right. Always travel with this shut. You don't want it to break, so keep that shut. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator. That means it'll run on 110 AC and also run on LP gas. Right now he has it on. It's the on button. On some of these you have to hold the button for a few seconds before it reacts, the on-off button, just so you know. And this is the mode button. So right now it's on A with an electric plug, so that means auto electric. That's the most common way. I just turned it up. That's the most common way you want to keep it. The reason it's called auto electric because it automatically seeks out electricity. If it can't find it, it'll automatically light on gas, right? Better yet, or a better way to look at it is if you leave for the day to go exploring and it's a hot day and soon after you leave the power in the campground goes out, it'll sense that and it'll automatically light on gas so you don't spoil your food. So that's the best way to do it, but it has 2 other modes, just electricity and just gas. So you can pull it down the road on just gas, for example. But like I said, the most common way is that one right there, auto electric. And generally, you're going to keep this up all the way because you generally need to leave it up all the time because mainly you're camping in the summer. Now, if it starts to get cool outside, in the early spring or late fall or something, you can always turn it down a little bit. But generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way. Okay. Excuse me. This device here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green. If it's not green, get it serviced, right? So if it goes off, it's detected carbon monoxide or LP gas. So you shut the appliances off, you open the door, take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on. Also, if it beeps very slowly, same tone but very slowly, it's telling you your battery up front is low. So here, this is a test here. LP is good, carbon monoxide coming up. And low battery alarm. Then it goes back to green. Like I said, if it's not green, get it serviced. That's important, of course. Alright, so this is your power converter right here. This converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged in to shore power, you have 110 AC at this side here. You have regular 110 AC circuit breakers like you see at home, and they're all labeled, right? Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. So you got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. Also, this is a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery up front on the tongue has and needs, and if it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs. If it's topped off, it'll just trickle a couple up there to maintain it, but it always keeps it charged as long as you're plugged in. Of course, when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge the batteries when you're pulling it also. So this This turns AC to DC power, plus it charges your battery. Okay, we're moving. Let's go. What else do we have here? Pantry. Okay. This is your thermostat. It's very, very simple. It's all analog. Right now he's got the heat running. I'm going to back it off just a little bit. But obviously it's self-evident. Heat to the right, off is one click to the left, and fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor, so it just circulates air, and then cool is air conditioning. Always leave your fan on auto. That's the best way to do it, okay? Alrighty, so the bathroom. Sink and shower work like any other sink and shower, okay? The toilet is an RV toilet, so it has a flush pedal here, right? It sits directly over a black tank. So the thing is, you can't use it dry. By dry, we're talking about the black tank below. So when you pull into the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You'll come in here, you'll put a dose of chemical in the bowl. Then you'll step on the pedal and hold it down till at least a gallon of water along with the chemical go into the black tank below. Then you can use it. If you don't do that, it's considered using it dry, which is not a good thing because it'll get clogged up. Plus the smell will be terrible. So you always want at least a gallon of water. You can use more, but not less. And a dose of chemical before you start using it. So keep that in mind. It's obviously important. You have a vent up here. Alrighty. Of course your bunks are here. You have USB charger plus power plus lights on each one. I think the bottom one has it too. I shouldn't have said that till I looked, but you definitely have it on the top anyway. Okay. Your slide room, this table, you can remove the table and set it on these cleats here and use the back cushion to fill in the space and turn this into a bed. This is a, let me make sure here, this is a jackknife sofa, so you can jackknife it flat and turn that into another bed. So you got two more places to sleep. Let's see what else we have here. He's still cleaning in here, obviously. I have to keep saying that because I like to have it clean before I do the video, but sometimes I can't. So this is you can put another TV right here. You can watch it while you're in bed. These buttons here are digital. The green light tells us the digital signal booster for the antenna is on. There are buttons here. You can shut them off, but you won't get a good picture. You always want them glowing green, and that way you'll get the best picture possible from the antenna. Okay. This is your emergency window, which goes like this. You push this all the way through, grab a hold of this tab and pull the screen out, and then you can escape during emergency. Also, you have some storage underneath here that you can access, like a foot locker sort of, but under the bed. Okay. So I think that does it. Let me look around a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to shut this light in the pantry off right here so we don't accidentally leave it going. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 60 days. You always want to keep after the roof. People generally don't inspect it enough. You're just protecting your investment, so it's important. Also, this is all the antifreeze has been purged from the system and replaced with fresh water. The bypass valves on your water heater are in camping mode, and there's water in the water heater tank. So you're all set to go. Never run the water heater without water in the tank. Okay? Thank you.